I want to actually encourage you to slow down and think a little bit more basic. Like, I know you got all the scriptures written all over your wall, but slow down and ask yourself, what's the basic thing I can be doing? Am I eating every day? Because we think that when we think of spiritual warfare, we only typically think about these grandiose things that happen in our life. We think about the demons and the spirits and all of those. But a spiritual attack can also be in your physical health, not in the sense of a disease, but in the fact that you're skipping meals. So now you don't have the energy, you haven't eaten enough carbs to sustain you in the day. You haven't had enough sugar so that your blood sugar don't tank. You haven't had enough water so that you aren't dehydrated and more susceptible to risk. You see, these are still attacks if you're not wise and paying attention to it. So how do you take care of yourself in this season? While, yes, you received a word from God. Yes, you're believing for what God has for you. And you're still suffering, you're still grieving, you're still miserable, you're still stressed, you're still tired, you're still exhausted. You've been fighting a good fight. You got your dukes up. You in the ring, and they hit you with the 1-2-1-2, but you still throwing in there. The hits may not be landing, but you're still throwing. You haven't given up. Don't give up. Keep on throwing. Keep on swinging. Start kicking. Whatever you gotta do. Headbutt. And take time to do the basic things that you need in order to continue to endure that fight. And I think about when a fighter is fighting, they swinging, they may not be doing their best. And they go back in that corner, and their coach patches them up, and the medic comes over and puts some Vaseline on their eyes, and they mouthwash and spit out the blood, all that, and they bandage up their face, put some liquid stitches over any cuts, and give them some electrolytes to give them a boost. Then they go back out there to the fight, right? The same thing happens with you and God. On a spiritual end, it's reading your word, going to prayer, being honest with God. On another practical end is, are you eating? Are you sleeping? You need to rest. You need to eat. You need to take time to steward your body. I know you got a bajillion one things. They're going to get done. Maybe God is trying to get you to slow down. So you will see that you will not be doing it in your own strength when you stop doing it in your own strength. And you do that by saying, yes, this needs to get done. And I also am 3 days behind on having a healthy, nutritious meal. So I'm going to go ahead and take this hour to go out and get some really good food. Yes, I need to finish this by a certain time. And I haven't slept in 3 days. I am going to take some hours to sleep. I'm going to take some naps throughout today. I'm going to work and I'm going to nap. I'm going to focus and do the things that, are towards my assignment or purpose, whatever. And I'm going to rest. I'm going to take that day off. That job going to be there. I'm going to take this day off. Because if I don't use the PTO, I'm going to lose it. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself the grace, the mercy, the comfort to take the day off. And I'm going to trust God, because God, you see how depleted I am. You see how exhausted I am. I need a break. I need rest. I've been working back to back shifts. I'm going to take a day off, because if I don't, I'm going to crash out, or I'm going to lash out, or I'm going to break down, or my body is going to break down. Believe me when I tell you this. Any emotional and psychological negligence that you are allowing to just continue, such as not taking care of your basic physical health, like eating and exercising, staying hydrated, eating well, right? Not processing emotions, swallowing stress, and just, ignoring it and suppressing disappointment, suppressing trauma. The more that you do it, it eventually manifests itself in your physical health through illness and disease and sickness, through heart conditions, through tumors. You would do research and see how many diseases and health conditions are actually linked to your emotional and your physical health. steward your body, steward your health well.